If you have been affected by gun violence, please raise your hand to honor those you have lost. All right. As you can see, living in this city forces us to deal with the impact of guns on a daily basis.
The students from Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School lost 17 members of their community in one deadly shooting. We have too lost just as many friends and family members to gun violence. It is our shared grief of our loved ones that we stand united in this call to action. Students at our school have been fighting for this amount of attention for months.
The media focus on school shootings and oftentimes be biased towards white privileged students. Many of these communities are disproportionately affected by gun violence, but they don't get the same share of media attention that we do. But now we together as Americans, regardless of whether or not you've been affected, regardless of what your race is, regardless of your ethnicity or religion, we must stand up together as a unified front as Americans and fight for change, because no one else will.
Not only am I a different person, but I was robbed of my innocence. I no longer get to go home and just be a normal kid. And I know you guys are going through the exact same thing. You just don't have the platform. People aren't listening to you.
If I were a politician who were ignoring the real issues, I would not want to mess with kids from Thurgood Marshall.
Our school was racked with 2 tragedies this year. It's not okay.
We'd like to thank our students from Florida one last time with a big round of applause.
We have been trying to get government officials to hear our voice, but because we live in a low-income area and we live in D.C. where we're not represented by anybody, they feel as though, oh, our voices shouldn't be heard. But this is a good opportunity since Parkland came, and that is a massive thing, and everyone's listening to them, so they can have our voice for us, or they can invite us to any meetings and talk, and we can sit down with them and talk about the same issues, because we have been affected so many times by this. 2 tragedies in one school year should not happen. We should not live day by day like, oh, this is normal.
I painted it in dedication of Zaire Kelly. He would have graduated this year, so what I did was I did a cap and gown. I raised my hand because due to him and Paris, but also because my father was a victim of gun violence. But it wasn't just a regular person on the street. It was a police officer shot my father. So that's why I also raised my hand. It shouldn't have taken 17 other students in Florida who are a total different race of ours for us to get the attention that we've been needed several months ago. I feel like when they got the attention that they had gotten, we should have got the same attention in return.
The Parkland students, they have used that platform to speak up for their voices, which they should have done. And it just shows that them being portrayed as leaders of this shows that the media is going to follow them. And they want the media to look at us. So I think they're shining their light that they have on us to show that it's not just about them, but it's about everybody whose lives are being lost.